Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. This is Jaja with Two Fortunes, and I am going to give you some insight into why I decided to get my real estate license and the process of, how I went about choosing the school, enrolling, what the requirements were, and then the process after passing the school test and then moving on to the state test, and then once passing that, then moving over to applying for the real estate license. And looking for what schools to enroll in, I did do the research on my own, and I did look into a few schools, and what I was looking for was cost or fees, scheduling, and location. Cost and fees, because obviously I don't want to be spending a ton of money, just going to school for real estate. And scheduling, because I do currently work full-time, so I want to be able to do something after work so that I'm not using my vacation time to go to school. And location, also because I don't want to be driving like 30 minutes to like an hour in traffic to the location of the school. So those were the three major topics that I was looking for in finding a school, and I did find a school. It's in Chandler, and the enrollment was pretty easy. The fees were pretty low. I did, however, find a Groupon on the school. So the Groupon was like you buy it on the Groupon, and then you take your receipt, and then you go over to the school and you show them the coupon code, and then they apply that towards your enrollment. And you get like well, to me it was a giant discount because I didn't pay any more than like $400. So to me that was great. For the books itself, they give you 2 thick books. And that came out to $50, so that was pretty, cheap, affordable. And then due to COVID, because I registered last year in like around September, and due to COVID, they weren't doing any in-class sessions anymore, so all of their classes were being held online. However, they did have, 2 separate online courses. One was just like, it was online to begin with, and then the in-course or in-person courses were being held online live through a Zoom. So it was just, you can do the online one, but that's just at your own pace and you do them whenever you want to do them. But the online Zoom sessions were live, so you did have to log in, you did have to be live on the Zoom call for the 4 hours, and you couldn't leave, you couldn't turn your video off. So I opted for the live Zoom session just because they weren't being held at the school. And I went that route just because, it's live. So I figured, why take this online course, whereas an instructor is teaching it live, and, I can get all the additional information that I might need to take the test. So that was a win-win there, and it was pretty cool, so I went with that option. The school schedule for the live Zoom session was Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. And the requirement for the school that I enrolled in was 90 hours. Well, not just for the school, but for all real estate schools here in Arizona. You do have to complete 90 hours of course sessions or online hours if you're doing it at your own pace. And then once you complete the 90-hour sessions or the 90 hours, then you move on to taking the school test. And with the school that I went to, you have 3 tries to take the school test. And then within that, that time frame where you're still taking your 90 hours and then you're testing, you have the option to apply for your fingerprint card, because you are going to need your fingerprint card when you move after the state test, when you go to apply for the license. So you need the fingerprint card clearance, and through the school, you just fill out an application, and then they take your fingerprint, and then depending on the school, you pay a fee. The school that I went to, I paid $25, and then they give you the application and the fingerprint card, and then you have to mail it to the Department of Public Safety. I think that's what it's called. But so you mail that over, and then you have to include a money order of about $65, maybe $70. I don't remember. But I can put all of the fees and all of the links in the description below, so check that out. And so that takes about anywhere from 4 weeks to 8 weeks to receive back. So that's why you want to start that ahead while you're still doing the hours. Whereas if you're doing that after the state test, then that's just more waiting period between, getting the okay to apply for your license and then needing to apply for your license. So and then as far as like the study material for the school and for the state test, I reread the books that I got from the school. I reread my notes. I took additional notes if I needed to. I went over sample tests. I found some sample tests online in PDF files, and I was going through those. And the books that they gave us, they do have like their own 10 to 15 questions of like review for each chapter. So that was pretty good. I went through those test questions again. And then I listened to podcasts. And also I used my husband as study material because, he's been through it. And although he may not have remembered every single thing that I was asking him, as far as like, specific definitions and words, but he helped me a lot, and without him, I probably would have taken a lot more time to pass. There's also another requirement that is not taught in the school, but there is an additional course that you do have to enroll in, and that's also through the school, but it's like a separate course, and that is a 6-hour intro to contract writing. And what that one is about is just basically you spend 6 hours going through a sample of a contract, and they tell you or they teach you, what needs to be filled out, given if you're working with the buyer or you're working with the seller, what information needs to be filled out, what needs to be signed, what documents are needed, and any sort of like addendums or additional add-ons if needed to the contract. And then once that's completed, at the end of the 6 hours, you do get a certificate from the instructor for your proof that you did provide or that you did go through that class and pass. There's no test for it. It's just an additional course of 6 hours that you have to attend. And for the state test, it is through Pearson View, and you can go directly to Pearson View and schedule your tests with them. You do have to schedule it ahead of time with them. And there's also a third party that is authorized to act as Pearson View. So it's like a third-party testing site where you can go to and take the same test that you would as if you were going to Pearson. It's just you're able to get in and get out real quick, because when I went to schedule my test for Pearson View, they were completely booked all the way up until like 3 months from when I wanted to take the test, 3 months out. And I didn't want to wait 3 months, so I went to the third-party testing site. I was able to get in the next few days, and it was just easy. It was super easy. And so once you go through the testing, the Pearson View does allow you 5 hours to take the test. And the school that I went to, they allowed you 3 hours. And I'm not sure if it's going to be different for every single school, but the one that I went to did allow you the 3 hours, and then the Pearson View allows you 5 hours. And once you take the test, you get your results immediately and they tell you if you passed or if you didn't pass. So it's either a yes or no passing. And so they don't give you like your actual scoring. And then once you pass the state test, you then take your scorecards or your like certificate from the school that you completed it, and then you take your certificate or scorecard from the state test, and then you use those to apply for your application. And that is through the website, the Arizona Department of Real Estate. Again, the links and everything is going to be in the description. So you log in, you use the real estate number that they give you once you pass your test. It'll be on the certificate. So you use that number to create a login, and then through there you have to download the application. You have to fill out the application, and then you have to provide them with your original Arizona real estate examination scorecard from the state, your pre-licensing education certificate from the school, your proof of legal residence, and the 6-hour contract writing certificate as well, and a copy of your fingerprint card. So those are the requirements that you need to provide along with your application. And you have to put that all in one document. They're very picky about you submitting like separate documents into different files. Like they want it in one big file and submit it all at once. And once you submit that through the website, then it'll give you a status. So once I submitted it, I think it took them 2 business days to get back to me and approve my application. And then once they approve your application, they tell you your application has been approved. Please log back in and pay the fee. And the fee is $60. Again, I don't remember off the top of my head, but it will be in the description box below. So you pay the fee, and then once you pay the fee, boom, you have your license, but it's not technically active until you are hired on with a broker. And once you get hired on to a broker, then you have to contact the department and then let them know, send them the broker information, and then they will activate your license, and then your license information gets sent over to the broker, and then voila, you're ready to participate in real estate activities in Arizona. So thank you so much for watching this. If you have any questions or any other information that I might have left out, please leave them in the comment box below. And I hope this was informative and you guys enjoyed it. But thank you again for watching. Have a good day or night. Goodbye.